What's up, everyone? Welcome back and happy Thursday. I'm meteorologist Andrea Myers, bringing you your daily hail forecast, sponsored as always by C3 Group, Merlin Law Group, American Contractor, and Atlas. And their link for you in the description to this video, so go ahead and check out their Facebook pages after the show here. Today, we've got the first of a couple low pressure systems moving through. Right now, it's bringing some snow to the southern Rocky Mountains and then into the Central Plains. But as it tracks farther east, we could potentially see some storms picking up starting tomorrow into Saturday, and those are likely to be severe. Now, it should be scattered on Friday, Saturday's system, but then into the beginning of next week, could potentially see a little bit more activity with that next low pressure system moving through. So we actually do have a few things to talk about severe weather-wise on the forecast here today, so stay tuned for that in a second. But before I get into the weather, I've got to tell you guys about the SRC Summit. We're going to be back at this. It is January 9th through the 11th, so coming up quick here. I think that's next week. If you guys use the code HAIL24, you get $100. I was going to say 100%, not 100%, $100 off of your registration there. So go ahead and use that link for that coupon code, or just plug it in when you register. But bottom line, SRC Summit, we're going to be there. It's at the Frisco, Texas Convention Center, so come on out and say hello. Now, here's the pattern that we're seeing setting up right now, all right? There went that first low pressure system that we're watching move across the Gulf and then out into the Atlantic today through this weekend. Then on Sunday, that's when the bigger one starts to move through. This whole dip in the jet stream, all these bright colors are going to be our upper air jet stream, right? And the brighter they are, the stronger it is at that point. So now we're starting to see the jet stream dip south with that trough down in the desert southwest, and out ahead of it could potentially be some storms sweeping through these southern plains. Now, I'd like to talk about the issues that we see with these systems when it's a little further out. The issues that we're seeing right now, it's really close to this weekend's trough. So that's going to sweep through all of that moisture and any instability that's built up since. And then you've only got a little bit of time to rebuild that back through the Gulf states before this guy moves through. So got to pay attention to that to see how severe these storms could potentially be. But regardless of that, lots of rainfall is expected, and we're likely to see some rumbles of thunder, a couple severe storms here and there with just the intensity of this system as it moves through into Tuesday, and then finally off the Atlantic coast into Wednesday. But regardless, Monday, Tuesday should be a more active time period with that second trough moving through, and we do have that first storm system expected to track through the Gulf states with this guy. So that's the first low for this weekend, Friday into Saturday. And right now, just a ton of snow, some rain down through Texas and New Mexico. Expected to stay pretty wintry until it tracks off to the east, where we've got that clearing. We've got a little bit of time to build up that moisture, that heat, that instability. 60 degrees down there in Houston. Now we're at 53 in Dallas, and we're in the 40s in OKC, but right along the Gulf here, we do have enough warm weather to get that severe weather for Friday and Saturday. The rest of us, if you're not being hit by the severe weather from this low, could see some snow in the central states sitting in the 20s and 30s, and then 20s and 30s as well up in the Ohio Valley, a lot of the Rocky Mountains, so your typical January temperatures here for a lot of the nation. So right now with that low pressure system, before it changes into severe mode, got to get through that winter weather. So if you're in this lighter purple, winter weather advisory, winter storm warning for you in the pink, and then down in southern Arizona, got a freeze watch and a freeze warning from the cold weather that's coming through with that. If you're in the winter storm warning in New Mexico, that's kind of where the bulk of the snow is right now. If you're at lower elevations, could see like 4 to 8 inches of snow. 8 to 12 inches are possible if you're above 8,000 feet. So could see some decent snowfall accumulating through New Mexico. And then we also have snow chances through the winter weather advisory, as well as potential wintry mix in some spots and some ice. So let's take a look at all that, see what our future radar has to hold. There goes all that rain with the lower end of that storm system, I guess, down in Texas where it's a little bit warmer. Then we start to see that transition zone in the pink between rain and snow, and then all of our snow out in New Mexico for later today. So this is 5 p.m. This is Central Time, 5 p.m. So, you know, if you're making any commutes, that's kind of the stuff you're going to be dealing with. And then as it tracks off to the east, lots of rain overnight for Oklahoma City. If you're in Tulsa, if you're in Wichita, Dodge City, potential to see that snow start to move through overnight and waking up to heavy snow tomorrow morning. Potential glaze of ice as well up through northern Oklahoma all the way down into the Ouachita Mountain region. Then into Friday, all of that is going to track off to the east. And now we have our severe storm risk coming up out of the Gulf and hitting the Gulf states for Friday, so we'll take a look at that in a second. But just for, you know, today's snowfall, here's what we're looking at today into tomorrow afternoon, the next 24 hours. Going to see potential for a couple of inches of snow all the way from Kansas into Colorado, northern New Mexico, even possibly Oklahoma. And then for the next, so now 48-hour snowfall, seeing that all track off to the east, and then through Sunday, could be seeing some pretty decent accumulations up through the Rocky Mountains there, and lots of folks seeing an inch or two across the central U.S. Now, for Friday's severe risk, all right, as that whole system tracks off to the east, we're going to be fueled by a warm front this time. So basically, all of that nice, warm, humid air getting pulled out of the Gulf into that low is going to be where we're getting the instability for this system. So there's our warm front right there by Friday afternoon, keeping the Gulf states just unstable enough to potentially see some severe weather before everything tracks off to the east and cooler temperatures pass through. Dew point wise, Friday looks okay as far as got a dry line there and got, again, that front pulling up all of the humidity from the Gulf into like Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi, shoreline areas. So, and then that's all going to track off to the east as it does. And then by Saturday, possible additional storms out through the southeast for your Saturday morning. So there it all goes on radar. Just a whole mess of storms in the south, and then you got that winter weather up north. But for our stormier region, there you go by Friday afternoon. Some cells have the potential to produce some higher winds, possible tornadoes. Another thing about this system is just with the strength of that upper jet, we do tend to see some more rotation in the air. Basically, environmental factors are there to spin up some tornadoes if those storms get going in the right way. So up they go onto the Louisiana coastline just as a whole mess of rain and storms, and then tracking east through Mississippi, Alabama, and Florida with that wind and tornado threat for your Friday. And then we'll talk about Saturday here in a second. But for tomorrow, you got to keep all your risks super close to that coastline where the best instability is. But high winds in the 60-mile-an-hour range from New Orleans to Mobile, off into Pensacola, and just to the west of Tallahassee for tomorrow. Then for tornadoes, they are possible. Everything should be very scattered, low-end chances on wind and tornadoes across the board, but that same area, New Orleans into Mobile, into Pensacola, could potentially see some rotating storms, some supercells, and maybe a spin-up or two. Then into Saturday, through the weekend and the beginning of next week, that first low is going to continue off the coast. All right, there it goes with that cold front moving into the Atlantic. Then on Sunday afternoon, here's your temperatures across the nation. 50s and 60s for some. So now we're starting to see that heat up coming back between systems before it's just a short turnaround, right? There you are by Monday afternoon with this next cold front moving through. So seeing some 50s in Oklahoma and Texas, not bad, but not great for severe weather. Not bad for this time of year though. But 60s and 70s, even upper 70s in southern Texas along the Gulf before this cold front tracks through into Monday and Tuesday. Look at that temperature differential. Now we're in the 40s and in the 50s where we were in the 70s the day before. So it's really going to sweep through that cold air and that sweep into that instability from all that heat that's been building up. And there you go into Tuesday doing the same thing. And so we get our severe weather threat, right? Dew points again into next week. There goes Friday and Saturday. And then we start to see more heat, more humidity as well, getting pulled up into the Gulf states before that dry line sweeps through. So we do have a cold front set up. We do have a dry line set up into the beginning of next week, Monday and Tuesday. So that factors into more unstable conditions, and hail, wind, and tornadoes are all going to be possible into the beginning of next week. So Saturday, with that remnant cold front, we will have a little bit of lift capable of producing some severe storms. But we're really watching Monday and Tuesday for more activity, as well as more widespread activity in general. So if you guys are near Houston, Corpus Christi, San Antonio, by Monday afternoon, starting to see more unstable conditions in central Texas with those warmer temperatures and that better humidity. As everything tracks eastward by Monday afternoon, still seeing the Gulf potential to produce severe weather, and then all the way across Louisiana into Florida for Tuesday, and then finally off into the Atlantic. So putting that all together, here's Saturday. All right, again, we got tomorrow across the Gulf, and then that's going to move off into the Atlantic coast by Saturday. Once that's off, now we start to see that resurgence in heat, resurgence in humidity, and there go our storms. So talked a little bit about the short timeline in between troughs. I also want to point out there's a ton of storms on our future radar here. And again, it's low res, but when they tend to be messy like this, it's really hard to get a ton of really intense, severe activity. So, you know, depending on whether you're rooting for or against that, take that as you will. But lots of rain, lots of storms, potential. And, you know, the severity of those is going to be in question if the storm mode ends up looking like this. So Monday afternoon, though, regardless, severe potential starts along that cold front and dry line through West Texas. And seeing some snow, some freezing rain, sleet off through the Central Plains. As that all tracks off to the east, there you are by midnight on Tuesday, more storms going along the Gulf states. And if you got interests in Oklahoma City, you know, could potentially see some snow. Got our fingers crossed to your snow dances if you're in Oklahoma City, or Wichita, or, you know, Lawton, Enid, Woodward, etc. But severe weather is going to move off to the east into Tuesday, and then there you are by Tuesday afternoon with another risk coming for the southeast states. So it's going to be a lot of back-to-back risks in the same areas. But here's kind of what Saturday looks like, all right? So Friday, again, just to recap, is right along the Gulf states. Then into Saturday, going to be the Florida Peninsula as well as parts of southern Georgia with the remnants of that first system. Then when the second system moves through, now we've got rain and storms possible all the way from Texas into Florida once again. And this one, all severe threats are possible at this point, hail, wind, and tornado. That's all going to track off to the east by Tuesday, moving through Alabama, Georgia, even parts of the coastal Carolinas, all the way through the Florida Panhandle, once again with all threats. So we'll have more for you as we move closer to it. I'll update you guys tomorrow afternoon on your Friday risk, your Saturday risk. We'll let you know what's going on with all of it. Go ahead and give us a follow on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Hit See First on Facebook so you never miss a live video, and smash that subscribe button everywhere else. And then if you're interested in purchasing a plan, go ahead and scan the QR code up above me in the banner there, or go ahead and click the link in the description to this video, and we can get you hooked up with our severe weather products. Or if you have any questions, give us a call at 855-334-4245. Email us at info@hailtrace.com or check out hailtrace.com for more details. For today, enjoy the snow, guys, and for tomorrow, we'll let you know what's happening. But for now, I'm meteorologist Andrea Myers. Thanks for watching.